Welcome back, guys. Over the weekend, Blizzard, the makers of the BattleNet games, Hearthstone, World of Warcraft, etc., they updated their BattleNet application, which created a big problem with Play on Linux and any BattleNet game that was configured through Play on Linux. And so, I'm not sure why Blizzard keeps doing that. They have a Mac version of BattleNet. They have a Windows version, but the Linux community has to constantly find ways to get it working within Linux. And I think the Linux community is large enough at this point where I would think that Blizzard would be at least a little bit more forthcoming with information and debugging, or at least maybe its own version of the BattleNet application. It's Linux. The Linux community plays games just like Windows and Mac users do, and they deserve a little bit more recognition, a little bit more respect, I think, within the Blizzard organization. So at any rate, if you want to play any of the Blizzard BattleNet games, there is a new procedure, and I'll go through that with you. Now, the old procedure involved setting up Play on Linux. There was a way to get it going through Wine, but Play on Linux was a little bit easier, and so that was my preferred method of installation. But now I cannot get it working within Play on Linux. So we're going to go over a procedure that will hopefully get it running just using Wine and Winetricks. So first of all, this is the new Manjaro XFCE 1608 preview second release. I just did the install. The only thing I've done to it is I've added Broadcom drivers for Wi-Fi. I've added Nvidia graphics, and I've loaded up a few apps to be able to do this video. So we're going to go through the entire procedure front to back on how to get BattleNet working. Now, it's basically consists of a few steps, and I'm going to use Arch as my example, but I also have information for Debian and Ubuntu. Okay, so let's take a look. The first thing is, and I've mentioned this before, you need to make sure you install the core Microsoft fonts. Within Arch, this is the command. In Debian, it's the sudo apt-get install command, Debian and Ubuntu, right here. So I'm going to go through a few steps that you'll need to do within Arch or Manjaro in order to get this running. Some of these steps you don't need to do in Ubuntu or Debian. So let's go through the first one. Okay, so we've got our terminal up, and I'm going to copy and paste yaourt for the ttf-ms fonts, and I'll put a link to this information here. So let's go ahead and install that. The first thing you'll need to do is you'll need to make sure Wine and Winetricks are installed. Okay, and that is finished installing. Now, for an Arch install, in order to get BattleNet working, you do have to take a few extra steps. that you don't need to do within Debian and Ubuntu. So let's go ahead and install lib32. And of course, you'll want to make sure if you have a proprietary graphics card, you'll want to make sure that you have your drivers installed for your proprietary graphics, which I have. Now, for Nvidia, you'll need to go ahead and install these 32-bit libraries. And you'll also need to install these audio drivers or codecs in order to make sure that you don't have any audio issues once you start up your BattleNet application. Okay, so that's done. Excuse me, that's done as far as Arch goes. Ubuntu, again, you'll need to do the MS Core Fonts installer. And then you may need to reboot for the changes to take effect. Now, instead of going through that, you can merely use winetricks. So at the command line, as an alternative method, copy, paste, and now it will go ahead and install some files within Wine in order to help you get everything running properly. So if it brings up any install screens, you'll go ahead and click on those to install. And that'll only take a moment, and then it's going to start installing the fonts, and that's what it's doing now. It won't take long, but it's going to go ahead and install the fonts within Wine because you will be using Wine to run BattleNet. So now that winetricks is done, I'm going to go into my Wine configuration, and that is Wine CFG. In Debian, it's Wine space Wine CFG, and I believe it's the same thing in Ubuntu. Okay, so once you hit enter after Wine CFG, then your Wine configuration menu will come up. You need to add some libraries, and I'm going to go through that on the list. These here would be added: API-MS, this runtime, the CRT Studio library, UCR T-Base, and VC Runtime 140. All those would be added, but you can add them one by one in this space here. So all you would do is copy one at a time and paste it in, and then click add. But as an alternative, I'm going to show you a little bit faster way of doing it. You're going to run winetricks VC Run 2015. So at the terminal, we're going to get out of Wine, and at the terminal we're going to type in winetricks VC Run 2015, and just let that run. Now that's going to go through and it's going to populate your Wine configuration. Now when this screen comes up for Visual C, click agree and install. Then click close. It'll go ahead and continue running and install all of the libraries that you need within Wine. Now I'm going to open Wine again and show you what happened to it. If I go to libraries, everything needed was added. So essentially, it's a pretty easy process. make sure you have Wine and Winetricks installed. You'll want to run Winetricks core fonts, and you'll want to run Winetricks VC Run 2015. Once that's done, we'll close out of that. We can close our terminal. You'll need to go to the Battle.net website and download, and I'm going to show you what link you should use for that. So you'll need to go to Battle.net, and what you should search on Google is Battle.net download clients. Then go down to Battle.net app, click on the Windows, and download it. It'll go into your downloads folder. That's where mine is. I'm going to open that up, and you see it right there. We're going to right click and open with Wine Windows Program Loader. Now it's going to go into your language, and it's going to start installing. And as you can see, it's pretty easy. So now you're going to click on Continue. You might have to click that a couple of times because it takes a minute for there are some programs being loaded behind the scenes. Okay, so wait a minute and then click it until it starts installing Battle.net. You're going to see it go through the install procedure. It doesn't take too long. Now you can see it added a launcher to my desktop. And when we're done, we'll check the regular menu. Now as you can see, it's giving me the ability at this point to sign in. I'm going to do that. Now the only thing it won't let you do, it won't let you stay logged in. You see how this box is grayed out? I haven't found a way around that yet. So we're going to log in. And from this point on, once you get it working, you'll have to sign in each time you want to use it. So when it says could not find any Blizzard games on your system, just click close. Pick the game that you want to play and install it. Now it's going to bring up an install screen. You're going to click on leave everything the way it is and click start install. Okay, I'm going to pause the video so that it can finish this download process, which is lengthy. I'll be right back. Okay guys, as you can see that download has finished. Now all I need to do is click play. Now if you want to install StarCraft, you can do it. Diablo 3, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, and Heroes of the Storm. So if I want to play Hearthstone, just click on play, and everything should be, it'll be full screen. If you want to go smaller, then you can click the options button. And so I usually take it out of full screen. I get rid of that. Because I have a processor and graphics card that can handle it, I go with high quality audio, video, and 16:9. And then I click on resume. And as you can see, everything works fine. So, and you can move this screen around on your the second time you go through this, second time you play, you'll be able to drag this window around and just place it wherever you want. So I'm just going to go ahead and close, and I'm going to close out Battle.net. exit application. And the reason I did that is because it puts the two launchers on the desktop, but it should also be in your menu. As you can see, wine is in the menu along with the two icons. Now all you have to do is right click, execute, or double click the icon. It's going to go through and it's going to open up the sign-on window. As I mentioned, it does not keep you logged in, so you don't have that option for some reason. But just enter your password and you'll be good to go. So that is it, guys. I hope that clears it up for you. And just remember, it's pretty easy. Let's take a look at that file again. Okay, so you're going to install, now as I said, it's easier if you just install winetricks and wine. Get your graphics installed. If you have an art system, go through these few graphics and audio commands. But then the two main ones will be Winetricks Core Fonts and Winetricks VC Run 2015. Let those finish, then download the latest BattleNet installer. Right click and select the Wine installer. Okay, and that's it. That should work for you. So, and hopefully at some point in the near future, Blizzard will get the message and start creating an installer just for the Linux folks. So guys, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for stopping by the channel, and I'll see you soon. Take care.